it's David here. I just thought I'd do a little video talk about the term toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity. Now, there's a big difference in my mind between masculinity and toxic masculinity, or a toxic man and toxic masculinity. Now, toxic masculinity is a very overused phrase which has been introduced by the beings to discredit the male population, basically. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. Men can be toxic, okay? Men can be toxic, women can be toxic, okay? But it doesn't mean that masculinity is toxic, okay? Masculinity has been around for generations, okay? Now, what we need to understand is that this is all part of an agenda. The beings don't want strong men. The beings don't want strong men. They want weak men, or even better for them, they want no men, okay? Now, the thing is, weak men or no men are basically going to be completely ineffective against the beings in defending the women and the children of the world today, okay? Now, I don't want you to hear me saying that and think, oh gosh, that's a very I don't want you hearing that and thinking I'm being some kind of misogynist by saying that, in saying that men need to defend women and children from the beings, you know, because there'll be a lot of women out there saying, oh, women can defend themselves. And I'm not saying they can't defend themselves, believe me. In fact, it's the women who stood up against the beings during the lockdown. If you look at all the demonstrations we had during the lockdown against the restrictions and the impositions and the horrors that the beings imposed on us, it was the women on the street. More than the men. A lot of men were at home watching football or twiddling their thumbs or doing whatever else really, playing computer games. It was the women who were out on the streets in their huge numbers against the lockdowns and protecting the children and the men of the world. It's the women who put their heads above the parapet during the lockdown in huge numbers, whilst far fewer men did that. Too few men were at home watching the football, waiting for the pubs to reopen. Playing computer games, okay? So this isn't about women being weak, far from it. Women have been so strong, and women still are strong. But we need men to be men, okay? We need men to be strong, we need men to be defending the children of today, 2024, against the beings, okay? Now, when I talk about strengthened men, I'm not talking about men who abuse women or abuse children. Those aren't strong men, okay? Those are weak men. Those are men of weak hearts and minds. Any man who abuses a child or a woman or another man is a man of weak hearts and minds. We don't want you. We don't want your support, thank you very much. We want strong men, we want true men, we want men of pure hearts and minds who care about the humanity, who care about the women and children and each other, okay? So when you talk about toxic masculinity, let's not talk about men as a whole being toxic, because that's all part of a game by the beings to turn the population against men, okay? They don't want strong men, they want weak men or no men. Ideally, they want no men at all, because once all the men in the world are gone, it leaves the floodgates open to the beings to do whatever they like, and they'll just trample all over everybody.
Careful, team. I think you'd better let me deal with this gentleman first. Folly, what are you doing here?
Okay, so I'm calling on all men around the world to stand up, be true to yourselves, be loving, and be courageous, okay? because we need to be courageous, because the beings are trying to weaken men, and they're trying to discredit men and get rid of men, basically. And when I say be strong and be courageous, I don't mean be violent. I'm not condoning any violence. All I'm saying to you is stand up for yourselves, stand up for what you believe in, and resist, question. Okay, question what's being done to people day by day. Okay, defiance. Because we need to be strong. We need to be true. We need to be open, our open hearts and minds. And sometimes we need to question what we're being told to do by so-called authority. Because sometimes authority may be wrong, or it may be malevolent, and it may not have our best interests at heart. So I'm doing this little video to call on all men around the world to stand up, be strong, be true to yourselves, follow your hearts. Don't let them grind you down, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to grind us all down. Okay? It's all part of the plan. We know what they're up to. Okay? Some of us know what you're up to, beings. So don't try it, okay? And I'm going to spread this word as far as I can, because I know what you guys are up to. So be loving, guys. And yeah, be true to yourselves, guys. Love to you all, love and freedom.